Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This moderately good-looking gentleman next to me, his name is Tim, and this is The Second Legacy, and thank you for stopping by. Today, we are going to talk about so much goodness. We've got Jim Jordan laying waste to the Assistant Attorney General of the DOJ around gun control and their inaction. We have a goofy gun grabber segment, which is going to make you smile ear to ear because Juan Grisham, the mini tyrant in New Mexico, took another L last night. And then we're going to talk about the liberal activist in the ESG movement, really looking out for Smith & Wesson, so much so that they're trying to destroy it for its own good. You guys are going to love every second. And thank you so much for hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and turning the notification bell on. And with that, Tim, you moderately good-looking gentleman, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Doing good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's it.
That's
doing good.
That's it.
What else do you want to hear?
He's just doing good. I want it all. I want the world, Tim. I want the whole world. I'm like Baruka in Willy Wonka. That's what I want. Tim, sometimes my brain wants to explode with some of the things that we cover, but then there's other times that make me really happy. And watching Jim Jordan go after an assistant attorney general of the DOJ around political bias, and then they act like it's not there. It does make the heart smile.
Yes.
It does, Tim.
Yes.
So before we jump into that, though, we've got to check on Dr. Button Pusher. Are you alive and well, sir? How are you doing?
What's happening?
Okay. We'll go back to back. We got crickets and Biden. I love it. Well, with that, I think we're ready. Let's start the people off right. Let's jump into number one.
Do politics drive the decisions at the Justice Department today?
Politics have no place in the work of the Civil Rights Division.
3 months ago, the New Mexico governor announced a 30-day ban on citizens' right to carry a concealed firearm in Albuquerque and the county that Albuquerque sits in. What did the Justice Department do when the governor did that unconstitutional order? What did the DOJ do in response to that unconstitutional action from the governor of New Mexico?
I am generally aware of the matter that you are referring to, but gun control is not a core issue that we handle.
Second Amendment, a fundamental right like the First Amendment, it's pretty important, isn't it?
These are very important issues to the department.
Well, tell me what the Justice Department did when this happened, when the governor imposed this unconstitutional ban.
I'm happy to bring your question back to my colleagues.
You don't know that one either.
So let's sum that one up. You don't know anything.
Yeah.
The DOJ holds our Second Amendment rights so close to the vest, Tim. It's so precious to them. It's like Schmeagol in The Ring. They hold it and they say, "My precious,"
Yes.
and they would never do anything because they love it, and it's an important, fundamental constitutional right.
Right. But they don't play politics. Well.
But they don't play politics. Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, yeah. They won't admit to playing politics. I mean,
Are you implying she came up there with a preset answer for everything and lied and fell back on platitudes?
that's all they do is lie and misdirect and not answer questions.
But they're not political, though.
No. They're just wildly inept and political.
And also political. Genuinely, how I don't even know the right way to say this. You know what? Let's just do it this way. How broken do you have to be to legitimately go in there and go, "No, we're not politically motivated at all," because that would be wrong. And I don't know anything about anything, but I can ask somebody for you. I'm so helpful. I mean, it's like you're watching this puppet game where the left has their hands so far up their butts that they're just talking and saying, no, say this, because you can't be in trouble for being stupid. And then the people on the right are going, "Can you please just answer the question?" Well, you're not going to, so I have the answer anyway.
How about the First Amendment? How about the First Amendment? Is that important? Yes, these are very important issues to us. What about the Second Amendment? We're not political.
We're not at all.
Yeah.
And God, dude, but I love what Jim did because he brought up the gift that keeps on giving. That is Juan Grisham, the governor of New Mexico, literally the gift that keeps on giving for the fight against gun control. Because it's a very valid point.
It is.
What did the DOJ do? Because after all, she's vaguely familiar with hearing something about that. She doesn't really follow these things.
No, because she's not political. Yeah,
because she's not political.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm glad we're on the same page. You know what? Let's continue with her not being political in clip number 2.
You don't know what the DOJ did in response to the governor of New Mexico's action. Well, here's what the county sheriff said. He held a press conference saying that this thing was unconstitutional, unenforceable, and incapable of stopping and curbing gun violence. The New Mexico Attorney General, who's a Democrat, said this thing will not have any impact on public safety and does not pass constitutional muster. So when the Democrat Attorney General of New Mexico said it doesn't fit the Constitution, but you guys at DOJ don't do a darn thing? Is that what you're telling me?
Politics have no place in the work of the Justice Department chairman, but
Are you aware of anything the Justice Department did to that unconstitutional order from the governor of New Mexico?
Not in the Civil Rights Division, Chairman, but I can certainly
Marauder,
bring your question.
you're an important person in the Justice Department. Did the Justice Department do anything?
Yes, we enforce the laws that Congress gave us, Chairman.
No, in this case, did the Justice Department do anything?
I will bring that question back to
I'll give you the answer. They didn't. They didn't file an amicus. They didn't put any statement of interest. They didn't do a darn thing.
They're not
Because
political, Tim.
the Second Amendment isn't a civil right. I mean,
No,
it's about
no,
guns. And
not-
that's,
yes.
yeah.
It's about safety. It's about safety and keeping us safe and safe. And safe. And they're not political, but they don't know, but they might know. But she has the right person to ask. But it's okay. We'll figure this out because it's their job to fulfill the laws that this body passes.
We enforce the laws of the land, basically the federal laws of the land. Well, except for the Second Amendment, we don't get political.
Except the ones that we don't want to enforce.
Right.
Because it's, after all, we enforce what we want to, not what we're obligated to by the law. That is the stupidest, and I know both parties do it, and I know all presidencies and all administrations do it, but legitimately, can we just be for real for a sec? That is the stupidest approach.
I think she pulled muscles dodging answers, dude.
She did. But she's very limber. They loosen up. They do calisthenics to avoid. Okay, get ready. This one's gonna be a tough one. We got to get past this laser.
She was over there doing some real Bruce Lee moves, man. Woo, missed that one. Woo, dodge that question. Woo,
dodge that one. Nailed it. Hey, what do we do? Oh, we enforce the laws that Congress passes. I swear on everything.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't be I could not be on a congressional committee like this because I would lose my mind.
Well, she didn't answer completely. What she meant to say was she selectively enforces the laws.
Ah, that's a key word,
Yes.
Tim. That's a key word. You're always so astute. That's what I love about you. I do love about you. But in all seriousness, we've got 3 clips total, but what we've done is 2, and that's basically Jim Jordan's pointing out the fact that you guys didn't really do anything on this, which by itself is kind of an insult to one of the core fundamental, amendments, the Bill of Rights, those things. Dusty.
Yeah.
They're such a pain in the butt. But then he actually compares to a real world example. And this one, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on because this is where it all comes full circle. And I love full circle. So let's go to number 3.
It shows, I think, how political you are because when Texas passed a pro-life bill on September 1st, 2021, 8 days later, the Department of Justice announces an investigation into that bill. Now, this is what amazes me. That's a bill that actually passed the state House, passed the state Senate, was signed by the governor, and you guys are in there contesting that 8 days later. But you have something in New Mexico, which is an obvious direct assault on the Second Amendment, and it's an order from the governor. It didn't go through the legislature. The governor does it, and the Department of Justice does nothing.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Yeah.
That's odd.
She had to know that's where he was going.
I don't know, man. I don't know because
Maybe
after
not.
all, she's not political.
That's true.
She's not.
Yeah.
And so she would not have seen the traps and the pitfalls of where he was going because that wasn't obvious at all.
No.
Oh my dude.
Yeah, he totally owned her on that. And
obvious.
yeah. But, I'm just glad that the DOJ is not political and that their Civil Rights
They aren't.
Division is concerned with civil rights,
right.
like those enshrined in the Constitution and Bill of Rights, with the exception of the Second Amendment, because that would be too political for them.
Hey, but Tim, didn't you hear that those are core fundamental rights? And it is, after all, their responsibility to enforce the laws passed by that body. And they're not political. And she'll have to ask somebody.
Well, I'll just take that to my peers. No, I can answer that question for you. They did nothing.
They did nothing. And then they turned around, like legitimately the time frame, because you've seen this over and over and over and over again with this administration over the last 3 years. they will always bring the DOJ to bear when something happens they don't like in state levels. They did it with the SAPA in Missouri. They did it with immigration in Texas. They did it with abortion in Texas. Like, they do it all the time.
They do it at school board meetings.
They do. They do it. They do it
dispatch
any
federal
way that they
officers.
possibly
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
But this, no, that's just the governor. What's the worry?
Yeah.
It's not like it didn't pass laws or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
It's typical leftist nonsense, and it totally highlights and illustrates the agenda that this administration has, and it's top down, right? Every single thing that they do centers around a heavy political agenda. It's not about what's right and wrong, what's legal and what's illegal. It's all about, well, does this fit our narrative? Does this fit our political agenda? And then this clown has the audacity to sit there and say, we're not a political organization, when we have 3 years of political hack jobs carried out by the DOJ.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just unbelievable. And that's what he's driving home at. And the fact that she's sitting there playing dumb is it's just pouring salt on an open wound. It's an insult to injury.
Yeah, dude, it's so asinine. It's so asinine.
These are your leaders, folks. Your leaders.
Yeah. No, that's the assistant leader. That's the assistant attorney general.
And she's in a position of power, and she gets a fat paycheck and probably is unfireable just like every other federal employee.
That's true. But she's not political.
Yeah.
Remember that. And she doesn't know a lot, but she can ask her peers because she's in the civil rights division. Oh, man. I think we hit that one home pretty hard. But you know what else is kind of gross and disgusting and makes me want to puke? Since we're going into the next segment here, environmental, social, and governance, ESG. It's been all the rage, Tim, everywhere. You got to put the environment and the social and the governance in front of everything else in corporations. Profits, growth, everything. You got to have a good ESG. But it turns out, and again, this is the part, Tim, where we get into the liberal activist shareholders are setting to sue the Smith & Wesson as part of the ESG push to cripple gun manufacturers, but it's for our own benefit. So it's for the safety
they're trying to preserve
Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson.
Yes.
They're trying to help Smith & Wesson here.
Yes,
board.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. They are genuinely, out of the goodness of their heart, making sure they have no exposure to liability by providing more liability.
Right. They're trying to protect the shareholders by suing the organization out of existence. Yes.
Exactly. Because after all, Tim, this is about safety. This is about safety from A to Z.
Well,
and if you don't have a corporation, you can't be unsafe.
Yeah, this is about corporate responsibility, not so much safety, because the board at Smith & Wesson has been totally irresponsible in allowing the sale and manufacturing sale of AR-15s.
Oh,
and so
they have. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a sarcastic segment.
Yeah, they're violating
the fiduciary. Oh, not the fiduciary.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get into this. Number 5, let's dive in because we got to get some brass tacks here because I'm sure that this is for the benefit of all, not leftist activities. Oh, look at this. Liberal activists are preparing to file a lawsuit against the board of one of the largest gun manufacturers in the United States, alleging that the company exposed shareholders to unnecessary liability by selling and promoting AR-15 rifles and thus violating their fiduciary duty. I mean, like...
Yeah, we're so worried about the shareholders, folks. We're going to put the company out of business by filing frivolous lawsuits.
They are.
I mean,
that's right.
On its very face, this is so disingenuous. If I was a judge, I would look at this and go, really? Come on. You're wasting my time here. Let's just go home.
Bailiff,
after all, whack his pickle. It's like...
Yeah. That's right. Oh my goodness, dude. Because after all, they have a fiduciary responsibility.
Yes.
And that means, in layman's terms, the company has to act in the best interest of the shareholders. That's what it means. Okay. So these guys are actually putting a lawsuit forward that says because you sold AR-15s, you did not respect your fiduciary responsibility because it opens up the company to lawsuits from the very same activists who are protecting them from the inside. So legitimately, guys, what we're talking about here is the leftist activists on the outside are suing gun manufacturer Smith & Wesson for selling AR-15s in their marketing practices. And as a result, to them suing from the outside, they're now suing from the inside because the company is being sued from the outside, so therefore they ignored their fiduciary responsibility, so they're getting sued from the inside. It's a suit sandwich.
Yep. all from the same group of anti-gun activists.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's for the best. It's for our best
Yeah.
interest. It's nothing political at all. I mean, you start a problem and then you provide the solution on the inside, both of which achieve your goal of destroying the company, but it's for the best. It's for the best. It's not manipulative and evil at all. It's not.
There's no games being played here. I'm sure the judge would take a look at this
yeah.
and just go, oh yeah, on its merits, this is a very solid case. I mean, these poor, board members just aren't doing their, upholding their fiduciary duties to
right.
Protect the shareholders. And so let's go ahead and allow this lawsuit to go forward to sue the company into oblivion so the shareholders lose their money when the company folds under the pressures of lawsuits. I mean, yes, clearly they're really worried about the shareholders of Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, but it's for safety.
It is.
But they'll be so safe. They'll be so safe. Let's jump to number 7. I want to explain this draft here. So the draft explains that the company's board has expressed, quote, unwillingness to exercise any oversight whatsoever when it's not their job when it comes to manufacturing and marketing AR-15s, which the shareholders say has exposed the company to unnecessary liability from them.
I know,
Tim, this would be like, I mean, it's hard to actually find appropriate analogy in any other field. I mean, this is actually difficult to do. I'm fat. Let's talk about food. So let's see. I'm going to go sue Hostess because their donuts make me fat. And then, Tim, it'll be genius. You're going to go inside of Hostess and you're going to become a shareholder. So you're going to buy some stock. This is the plan. And then from the inside, you're going to start a suit against the CEOs because I sued them from the outside because of their fiduciary responsibility. That's actually pretty good.
I'm going to sue them because of their responsibility of making the ding-dongs you like so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had to choose ding-dongs. You couldn't have you could have chosen like those great little Hostess
had to go and
cakes.
Make those ding-dongs so tasty.
You had to go with ding-dongs,
could not stop gobbling the ding-dongs. And so now they violated their fiduciary duty. They totally mismarketed the ding-dong. And now the ding-dongs are being misused. And so we have to sue everybody to get those ding-dongs back into alignment. Great analogy, dude. I like it.
Are you implying that I got caught by a sneaky ding dong?
You did. You had a sneaky ding dong get into your studio, dude, and
I hate that.
Pure chaos has ensued ever since.
Oh my God,
we got to hold this board accountable. We have to sue the ding dong makers. We cannot have ding dongs running around the country with no regulation. I mean, it's totally irresponsible, and it's a violation of the fiduciary duties of the ding dong manufacturers. Let's put the ding dongs back where the ding dongs belong.
Please stop saying ding dongs.
Wow, this devolved very quickly, but I blame you, Braden, because you brought up the analogy. I didn't.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
I started with whack a pickle, bailiff, and then you took it straight to ding dongs. Well, you opened the door to ding dongs. You opened the door to ding dongs. I did open the door.
Okay. That's Dr. Button Pusher telling us to get back on,
get back on
the train. Okay, you're right. So, I'm sorry. Okay. God, dude, that really got me. Okay. That's the first time I've cried on camera. Oh, sugar. Well, I think, Tim, we should talk. Let's just go number 8. Screw the setup.
You know what, guys? Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. It was a great episode.
All right, number 8.
Oh, number 8. Yes. Bringing it in. Oh, goodness gracious. The lawsuit is the latest in a series of moves made by liberal activists across the country using the legal system to go after gun manufacturers as part of a larger movement known as ESG, which is environmental, social, and governance, which puts pressure on investors to be more socially conscious. Oh my God, they are so kind. They are amazing. It's fiduciary in safety and kind and governance. They're the best.
So is there like a spectrum? Is there like a chart for socially conscious? I mean, is there like a hierarchy? Is there a way to track
this? There's a spectrum.
Is there? Okay. I just want to make sure that they had a way to actually accurately track this because it is an important thing.
I think it's a different
thing. We need to be very
It's a different kind of spectrum. It's a different kind of spectrum, but it's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
Oh, yeah. It's there. Oh, but Tim, you know what? That segment right there, that made me smile and was very happy. But I think that's how they're taking care of us today on the corporate front. But I think it's time for you to take the wheel on this G3 on this G3 here. We've got everything in there for you.
Well, so
we're ready.
Yeah, let's go up ahead and throw up number 11 here, folks. We're right back into the great state of New Mexico. And once again, Grissom has been slapped down by a court because she just keeps trying to ban people from exercising their Second Amendment rights. Going right back to the very first clip that we showed you in today's episode, she's still at it, and she keeps trying, and the courts keep bailiff. I'm not going to bring up whacking the pee-pee. So anyway, they just keep smacking her down. Right? Beep. They just keep smacking her down. And so I just wanted to give her an honorable mention in today's G3 episode.
That's kind.
Yeah, because, it kind of dovetailed into the discussion today because Jim Jordan so effectively used her idiot behavior as a tool to expose the DOJ for the hacks that they are. And so in the same news cycle, we have her getting whacked once again by a court saying, you can't do this. So now I want to see what you guys have to say in the comments. Do you think she's going to do it again? Is she going to triple down on stupid? How far is she willing to take this? And how many times are the courts just going to keep smacking her back down before they do something else like take her out of office? I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. All right, folks, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon.